What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. I am rolling out daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout the whole summer transfer window here on YouTube for you guys to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester City transfer news. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. And finally, I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. Sofascore are going to be keeping you guys up to date with all the latest football scores, match information, match analysis and statistics ahead of the new season. They're also going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest scores from all the sports that you guys love to follow, all in one place, all in one app. It's a free app to download, so worthwhile checking out. Very highly rated. Links and details there in the description. Anyone that does download Sofascore using my link in the description does help to support the future content created here on my channel. So we've got no ins, we've got no contract news. Pretty quiet out there when it comes to City transfer news, but as ever, the outs pretty much warming things up when it comes to City transfer news. So, we've got the very latest on Yan Couto, and Fabrizio Romano has said that Borussia Dortmund are edging ever closer to signing Yan Couto from Manchester City on a permanent basis. They're currently working on a €25 million deal with add-ons. He says that Couto has got a verbal agreement in place over personal terms with Borussia Dortmund. He says that Yan Couto is ready to travel to Germany to complete his medical and complete the deal. Dortmund are ready to book that medical in. It just needs signing off from Manchester City on an agreement which is closed. He says, here we go soon. So Yan Couto very close to being a Borussia Dortmund player. Now moving on, we've got the very latest on Ederson, and he has spoken about his future after Manchester City's 3-2 defeat in our second pre-season game of the 2024-2025 season with a 3-2 loss against AC Milan at the Yankees Stadium last night. Ederson after the game has spoken about his future and said that it was nice to hear the public comments that have come from Pep Guardiola praising how much of an important player he is and how good of a goalkeeper he is. Said he's comfortable at Manchester City, he's comfortable with his teammates, he's comfortable working with Pep Guardiola. He said he's a great coach as well. However, he does still remain coy on his future, saying that his future is in God's hands. Still not ruling out an exit away from Manchester City. Remember, plenty of interest coming in from Saudi Arabia. Manchester City have told Saudi Arabian clubs they're after 50 to 60 million euros. So we're looking at more than 50 million pounds, which the Saudi Arabian clubs do not want to go near. And currently we've seen Al Nassr sign another goalkeeper, and Al Ittihad are drawing up contingencies to Ederson, which is suggesting that the clubs can't afford him, European clubs can't afford him. And if that is the case, more than likely Ederson stays at Manchester City. Now moving on to the final transfer, I want to talk about Kalvin Phillips. Once more, hasn't impressed in his 2 games in pre-season with Manchester City, and he's got just 2 games in pre-season left to go and impress and showcase why he should be around the Manchester City first team squad. To me, his confidence is shot, it's gone, and he's standing out at City as being out of his depth. Remember, pre-season, there's a lot of youngsters out there who are all doing more than what Kalvin Phillips is. Kalvin Phillips is one of the most senior, experienced players that we've got in our first team squad right now. He's got England caps. He's got Premier League experience. He's been at Manchester City for 2 years now. He has played numerous amounts of time during his career at the highest level. He would be one of the players that I would be expecting to stand out, and considering he's got 4 games to showcase his quality, because City, when we signed him 2 years ago, £42 million, he showcased that he is good enough to be playing at the highest level when we signed him from Leeds United, and he seems to have severely regressed over the last 2 years to a point that it's kind of putting Manchester City in a position and a player in these pre-season games where I'd expect him to stand out and showcase his experience. He isn't, and these young players are all doing more than what Kalvin Phillips is. And these youngsters, they have a margin for error because they've not got that experience and they are young players. Kalvin Phillips is in the prime of his career right now, and he isn't doing enough, in my opinion, to be impressing with Manchester City. And with that all being suggested and all being done, it all points towards Kalvin Phillips at some point in this window leaving Manchester City. Now, the BBC have said that Everton, they are keen. A couple of Premier League teams are keen on signing Kalvin Phillips. Saudi Arabia, I've heard rumours that they may be keen on making a move for Kalvin Phillips as well. And it is reported that Phillips would prefer a permanent transfer away from Manchester City rather than a loan transfer. For a permanent transfer to be sorted by City this summer, though, we're going to be looking, I reckon, at more than half of his value coming off what Manchester City paid Leeds United a couple of years ago. Now, it'd be all fine and well to say, let's just keep loaning him out and see out his contract, but remember, Kalvin Phillips has still got, 4 years left on his Manchester City contract, which is a whopping amount of time. And considering I'm suggesting here that Kalvin Phillips is going to be sold for less than £20 million, that over 4 years works out at £5 million per year. And I think that's what you're looking at for a loan fee when it comes to Kalvin Phillips leaving Manchester City. But Everton, Premier League club, Saudi Arabia, do they want to go near Kalvin Phillips? Well, I can see them maybe exploring a loan deal, but I don't see them doing that until much later into the transfer window, final week of the transfer window, when clubs are getting desperate. They want to add in more quality and more squad depth to their squad ahead of a big, busy and very important Premier League schedule. So I'm not so sure. And to me, I think this Kalvin Phillips transfer holds the key as to what business Manchester City choose to do when it comes to potential incomings. Kalvin Phillips leaves, that opens up a space in the squad. That also allows Manchester City to go out there and address some issues that we've got in our midfield, including that number 6, number 8 role. Because right now, options are for Manchester City, sell Kalvin Phillips for cheap, loan him. Where's he going to go? Abroad? Lower Premier League? Maybe Man City will even contemplate one of the Championship clubs who can afford his loan fee. Are we going to hope that he comes good and keep him at Manchester City? Are you just going to use him as a squad player and give him no minutes in the first team? What do Manchester City want to do with Kalvin Phillips? Because I do believe that Kalvin Phillips holds the key here as to what business City want to do, in particular when it comes to signing a number 6, number 8 role in the Manchester City midfield. Because whilst we've got Kalvin Phillips, if he doesn't leave City, I'm certain he'll be registered as a player in the Premier League for City, so it's taking up a space in our squad. And once Kalvin Phillips does leave, which I think that he will in this window, I think that may just open up the potential to Man City signing a replacement. But if City do want Kalvin Phillips to go, it needs to be sorted sooner rather than later. If it does go that far into the window, into the final week, I can see Man City letting Kalvin Phillips go, and Man City then not signing anybody because they've not got enough time to get things sorted. And all of a sudden, this thin, stretched squad that we've got already gets even thinner, goes right down to the bare bones, even before a ball has been kicked in this squad in the season. This is a very important time in the transfer window for Manchester City, and things need to be sorted as quickly as possible, because at the moment things are coasting along, days are ticking away. We're getting towards it being less than a month left of this summer transfer window, and very little business has been done by Manchester City as of right now, and things still need to be sorted. Yan Couto's sale, what we're going to do with Kalvin Phillips, what's happening with João Cancelo, what are we looking at in terms of the first team squad, Ederson, Kyle Walker, Kovacic, Nunes, Alvarez, Bernardo, De Bruyne. So many question marks, and there is just not enough time to get things sorted, as well as trying to bring players in as well. So at the moment, interesting, maybe borderline concerning for some of you guys. Would love to know your thoughts of that in the comments below. So there we go, that has been today's transfer update. If you did enjoy this video, do leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. Don't forget as well to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. I am going to keep you guys up to date every single day here on YouTube with all the latest Manchester City transfer news. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Sofascore. see you all again real soon for the next Manchester City video, more than likely tomorrow, religiously for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Does Kalvin Phillips hold the key here to Man City potentially making a move for a defensive midfielder, a central midfielder, a number 6, number 8, a Bruno Guimaraes, for example? We'll have to wait and see. Peace. Ciao for now.